This topic is actually one that I've been meaning to address for a very long time, and I kind of wanted to talk about it before I stopped making videos and all. The last thing I wanted to do is just kind of leave people in the dark and just kind of leave everyone with this question in their minds as to where I disappeared to. So as some of you, or maybe none of you, or maybe just one of you have noticed, I stopped making YouTube videos when I posted I was on a pretty good streak. I posted almost every single week, I posted every week, but then out of nowhere, I just stopped and I basically quit. I quit making YouTube videos and I quit just trying my best to put things out there. This is a pretty sensitive topic for me. Like someone special has told me, I don't owe an explanation to anybody, but this is just something for me to just put out there. Personally for me, making videos and just putting stuff out there, just showing the world who I was, that was fun. Even if only a couple people saw that, it was fun for me because I got to be my true self without any judgments, without any worries or any fears or anything. But the thing is, I didn't want to give that up. I didn't want to quit that. So backtracking a little bit, growing up, my grandma was always my biggest hero. My parents were always there for me, yeah, but my grandma, she was there for me every step of the way, from the time I came out all the way up until the time of graduating high school, and even now. She's always been there for me. She's always been my #1 fan, and she's always supported me through everything. So right around the time of when I stopped making videos, I went home for summer break as always, and I was so excited to see my family and everything. And I saw my grandma and everything was great for a couple of days. But then unfortunately, my grandma suffered from a stroke, and instead of taking an ambulance, we ended up just driving my grandmother to the hospital in my uncle's car, and I had to carry her into the emergency room in my own arms. Now, to carry this woman, she was not a light woman. She's a human being, so she weighed a pretty hefty amount, but she was not light. And she couldn't wrap her arm around my neck because she couldn't really use her arm, and she couldn't really use her left leg either. So I carried her into the hospital. From there, I just stood by her side and I told her that before she knew it, we'd be out of the hospital and that we'd be on our way home and that she had nothing to worry about. I could tell that she knew something was wrong because she kept reassuring me that regardless of what happened, she only wanted me to continue focusing on school and focusing on the things I was passionate about. Little did I know that things would become a little bit more serious for my grandmother, and she ended up requiring a lot of medical attention. Long story short, I spent every single day with my grandmother. Well, not necessarily. In the daytime, I worked at a restaurant as a server, and then at night, right after work, I rushed to the hospital and I just stayed by her side all the time. Whenever we switched from a hospital to a rehab center to a nursing home, I stayed by her side through every single step of the process. She was always there for me when I was growing up, and I just thought that the least she deserved was that I was by her side when she needed me the most. With that being said, my world kind of got turned completely upside down. My priorities changed almost entirely, actually. They went from having fun, making videos, to just being there for my family. And that was it. It was just being there for my family, whether it was financial, whether it was in person. It was just, that's all that mattered to me. And if any of you watched my 2 videos before my coming back video, you could tell my family is all I cared about. I made a video for my grandmother's birthday because I realized that out of my entire year of making videos, I never made one for her birthday. Well, I never made one for her, so I thought that it was right that I at least made her one for her birthday, just so I could show it to her as soon as she got out of the hospital. And that's exactly what I did. I made one for her birthday. I made one specifically for her. That's why the whole video is in Vietnamese. Not the most fluent Vietnamese, but it's just enough where that she would understand when she watched it as soon as she gets out. on my birthday, which is only 2 days after hers, I gave my mom a little gift of $3,000. Mind you that my family's been through a lot of ups and downs throughout life. Some of you may not know this, but we went from being super affluent to being where we are now, which is not the best, but it's better than our lowest point in life. Life's still very, very hard, but we're able to at least afford a meal at the end of the day, and that's what matters. But yeah, that's all that mattered to me during the summer. During the summer, that's all I cared for, all I focused on. And then right after that, I went back to school. I went back to school with this newfound motivation to just focus on academics and just school in general, and nothing else mattered. It felt kind of weird coming back to college and learning about all the latest gossip, all the rumors, all the hookups, and just relationships. And to be honest with you, I didn't care. I didn't care about any of it. I just didn't see a point at all. When I went from a summer of working during the day and then taking care of my grandmother at night, calming her down, speaking to her, making sure that everything was okay and that she felt safe, and just to go from that to an environment where the most important things apparently were hookups and parties. Personally, for me, it just wasn't my cup of tea. I didn't judge anybody for it. If people were having fun with it, then that's totally fine. That's up to them. That's their life. But for me, that just wasn't what I really truly cared for. So fast forward a little bit, I spent a couple months just trying to focus on myself, trying to figure out what I truly cared for, what everything meant to me, what my family meant to me, everything really. And after that time, I started thinking about making YouTube videos again, but just even the thought, it just didn't really vibe with me anymore. Not because I didn't have a passion for it, but because I had a bigger passion for something else, and that was my grandmother and my family and my brothers, and just being there for the people I cared about. Fast forwarding a little bit more, my family ran into a little bit more health issues. My father went through something, but we're not gonna talk about that because he doesn't want to tell the world about that. He didn't even want to tell anyone really, except for my brothers and I, about it. My dad's a very private man, and so that's all I'm gonna say about it. He'll probably never ever want me to tell anybody, but that's fine. Every time I go back home, whether it's Thanksgiving break, winter break, or maybe even like a fall break, which is only an extra day to the weekend, all I cared about was working 24/7, clocking in 40, 50 hour work weeks just as a server. And then whenever I got the chance to, on like a day where I got off, I would always spend with my grandmother. And her nursing home is about an hour away from where we live now. And so like commuting there and commuting back, that's a little crazy, but totally worth it for my hero. In between this whole time, from the beginning of fall semester to now, actually, I met this incredible girl, and we started talking. Things just started off as just being friendly, and next thing you know, we just started spending a lot of time together. I started cooking for her a lot. She starts cooking for me a lot. She makes sure that I stay healthy, and whenever I'm sick, she's always there for me, and we were just there for each other a lot. Well, before you know it, we started dating, and I'm actually really happy right now. I'll tell you guys more about that later, but she's in California now. She graduated, and in 20 days exactly, actually, I'll be taking you along across the entire United States just to be with her again. And I'm super excited. I'm so excited. She's actually the big reason why I decided to give this a shot again. I know a lot of people don't want to watch me anymore, probably. And people that do want to watch me is probably just going to be her, myself, and a couple of my brothers. But I don't know if they know that I'm making videos again either. Regardless, she just helped me rediscover this passion I've had for just like making videos and just putting stuff out there of my true self. A lot has happened. A lot has happened. And I'm so sorry that I wasn't able to bring you guys along for that. But I just thought that for the 1 or 2 of you that are watching this, I just thought that you deserved an explanation as to where I've been, what I've been up to. And since this is such a sensitive and raw topic, I decided that I could be sensitive and raw too, so there's not gonna be any fancy editing or anything. I didn't even cut my hair or shave or anything. I didn't style anything. This is me. This is me. This is where I've been. And I'm so happy to be back. For the first time in a long time, and for the first time for a long time. Thank you so much for watching. Man, it's been a while. I haven't done this. But for the first time in a long time, thank you so much for watching. And as always, it's been such a treat.
That's too long.
Cầm tay máy không đàng hoàng.
Không lá đàng hoàng.